Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin back above 46.5k, just above 46.7 actually at the moment. There's been a slight upside in the last 24 hours as Bitcoin broke above a triangle. That is the triangle we had on the chart yesterday. However, generally not much movement in the market. It seems like the market is waiting for something. There is not much decision making currently in the market, and you can see it here on the chart. That triangle that we had on the chart yesterday, that Bitcoin broke out here to the upside and even closed the daily above it. Yeah, so that is very good actually. However, we haven't seen the volume. So typically when you see a breakout out of a triangle, you would expect some volume. Here actually we haven't. Yeah, so the volume is fairly low generally across the crypto markets. Well, generally across Bitcoin, I would say. There are certainly some cryptos that are moving quite strongly at the moment, but Bitcoin isn't really moving at all. So at the moment, it really is the question, will Bitcoin be able to move above these previous rejection points? So the first one is here the daily candle close at 47.5k, yeah, which is here. These candles, that is the first important resistance that Bitcoin needs to get above. But I think the even more important one will be this one here, where you can see also the 200-day moving average pretty much moving horizontally at the moment, very exactly, so around 48.3k. This is the zone that Bitcoin needs to get through. This is very, very important. So we've got to the downside there, we've got the support zone here between, it is between 44.2, 44.5k, and to the upside here, we've got this resistance zone. Yeah, so this is what Bitcoin needs to get above in order to really push higher. I mean, we've got on the chart here the primary expectation that the price is going to go higher. Here you can see it here on the chart. Yeah, with the arrows, that is the primary expectation that the Bitcoin price will first move into this target area. Well, at least first to move to the 51k level, which is that red horizontal resistance level here. That is an important Fibonacci retracement level as well, and it became the primary scenario after Bitcoin broke above 45.8k. Now, however, Bitcoin is struggling to really maintain that, moving sideways, but it's also, I mean, Bitcoin was overbought on the daily, or nearly overbought, so it's currently bringing the RSI down a little bit. Got down to 60, now it's increased a little bit, but quite far away now from being overbought. The question is now, can Bitcoin get above or below any of these levels? I think only then we can really know what Bitcoin is up to. At the moment, if Bitcoin is moving here a little bit of up and down, there isn't really a lot that we can read into this, I have to say. It is really the important support or resistance levels that need to get broken here. And to the downside, even more important than that 44.5k level is the 42.7k level, because below that, I think then we will also break the 50-day moving average, which is very close. And I think below that, we are going to reactivate this scenario where we get the sell-off straight away into the 20 to 29k area. However, if we go up first, my expectation would be that we will then turn around up here and then come down. And the reason for that is because we need to complete that correction. Bitcoin still hasn't done it, in my opinion. I don't believe here in a truncation, which means a reduction of the or shortening of that correction. Bitcoin typically doesn't do it, and I've said it many times before. If a certain asset has a certain behavior, it typically will not change that through its complete lifetime, and that would mean that in such a high level correction, Bitcoin, would have done various, or at least one or two running flats in the past, but it didn't do that. It typically does. Bitcoin is for very clear decisions. Bitcoin typically does this expanded flat that I've mentioned before, which means that you go first, after your all-time high, you first go down in a wave A, you then come up in a wave B, which is overshooting. So Bitcoin either does a regular flat or an expanded flat, and what we see here is an expanded flat with an overshooting wave B, and then you typically come down and make that lower low. Now this time Bitcoin hasn't done that lower low, and therefore I still think it's still coming. Of course, everything's about probabilities, but I don't believe in a truncation, not in such a high level wave count, and not in a wave 2. that Bitcoin is doing at the moment. It's just very, very untypical. Would seriously would seriously surprise me. Of course, nothing can be fully ruled out in the market. Nothing can. So there is, of course, a small probability that the price is going to go to new all-time highs, and therefore I already dollar cost averaged in below 40k. Did mention that because in the end, you know, I can believe what I want, but in the end, it's a whole strategy, and it's about smart. It's about being smart about your own investments. And so I'm not naively just going to go with one scenario. I want to be prepared for different scenarios. Therefore, I already prepared also for that Bitcoin increase that could come. If it doesn't come and there is another dip, then I will buy more here. And if it doesn't come, then I will just hold on to my Bitcoin and will hold through here. So that's my view here on Bitcoin. And I mean, many altcoins, to be fair, already reached their target areas, but they also have now in this move up outperformed Bitcoin. So should Bitcoin come down once more, these altcoins have a chance to just make a higher low or just come into the target area once more instead of just going through them to the downside and have even lower prices. So the chance is really that if Bitcoin is turning around, Bitcoin might make that lower low. We'll see. And many altcoins have a chance to actually make a higher low. That would then fulfill my expectation that for many altcoins, or at least for some altcoins, for example, thinking about Solana here and VeChain and Silica, for example, as well, that the low was already in. However, for some others like Polkadot, I think the low is still coming together with Bitcoin. It will be very interesting to see how the next few weeks are working out here. And if I go to the short-term chart, we can see that, Bitcoin broke out of that triangle. However, it's not that movement, it's not that volume that we typically see when there is a real breakout. Bitcoin is trying here, but overall, at the moment, it's only making lower highs. So we've got a very important resistance level here in the short term, So I gave you the key levels, but this is a short-term resistance level. You can see that here, bit in the zone Bitcoin is, and this acted as support here. This is the 47k level. I can move it a little bit higher, but it's pretty much 47k. So this is the next one Bitcoin needs to move above. Good. That is my view here about Bitcoin. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.